Hi everyone and welcome to this new video where I'm going to talk about a very important term in our method, which is the keys color. I'll explain what the keys color is and why it's very important if you're really interested in developing great ear training skills. So make sure to watch this video entirely because I think it will be very beneficial to you. That being said, before going ahead with this video, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like below so that you can help us create more free content like this. And don't forget to check out the link in the description section below where you can find links to our free trainings that will help you out by providing you free content and free exercises that you can practice right away while watching our free training. And this is just the tip of the iceberg because you're going to get a lot more by accessing our free trainings. So back to the keys colors, the main topic of this video. The keys color is, technically speaking, the sensation, the specific sensation that each note assumes inside the key. So basically, every musical piece has a given key, okay? So every musical piece is built around a tonality, okay? There could be pieces that have multiple tonalities, so there will be changes of tonalities, but there's always a tonality in place when we usually think about music. If a musical piece wasn't based and built around one or multiple tonalities, it wouldn't seem like music to us. It would seem more like random noise. So that's why I'm saying that musical pieces always have a tonality, or maybe multiple tonalities, because there might be a part in one key and then the next part in another key and then so on. So in order for my explanation to be clear, I'd like to consider just a simple musical piece based in one single key, okay? And that's, by the way, like 99% of mainstream songs like pop, folk, and rock songs are just built around one single key, okay? What happens is that we have, like, for example, let's take a major key. We have 7 notes inside the major key, and so the tonality is going to include 7 different notes, okay? Each note assumes a very specific degree inside the scale. So we have the first degree note, for example, the C major key. We have the C note, that is the first degree note in that case. Then we have D, which is the second degree. Then we have E, that is the third degree. Then F, the fourth degree, and so on. So what happens is that each of these 7 notes will have a different sensation based on the degree they are assuming inside the key. So for example, C in this case is the first degree note, okay? What happens is that C will assume the sensation of resolution, the sensation of the gravitational center of the musical piece. So that's the keys color of the first degree note. It doesn't matter in which key we are. So I've just done the example talking about the C major key, but I can say the same thing about the E major or G major or F sharp major or whatever. The sensation of the first degree note is always that. So in the major key, the first degree note has a sensation of resolution. It's a very stable note. It's the gravitational center of the musical piece. And so the keys color of the first degree of the major key is that sound, that specific sensation of resolution and stability. In a similar way, each one of the 7 degrees of the scale have their own sensation, their own keys color. For example, the 7th degree of the major scale has a very unstable feeling and it asks for resolution on the first degree. So that's the keys color of the 7th degree of the major key. It's a very unstable sensation. It has a very unstable sensation. So this is the keys color. It's a very simple concept when you understand it. It's not a real color. It's not a visual color. Color in this case means sensation. So the definition of keys color is the sensation that a degree of the scale assumes within the context of the tonality, so within the key. In order to make this concept clearer, I'd like to also explain it in another way. As I've just explained, the first degree note of the major key acts like a gravitational center. So basically, it attracts all the other notes included in the key. So the keys color could also be explained as the specific level of attraction that a note has in relation to the first degree note, so the tonic note. What that means is that each note included in the key is attracted in a different way, on a different level to the tonic note. Some notes are more attracted, and so you feel a clear sensation of instability and tension that wants to be solved by going back to the first degree note. For example, the seventh degree note, as I said before, is a very unstable note, but there are also other notes inside the key that are not super attracted to the first degree note, that are more stable. So for example, that's the case of the sixth degree note. But in any way, it's very important to understand that this is just an explanation of these sensations. And I don't really like to explain these sensations in words because words can't really fully explain these sensations. So in order to understand them, you have to feel them and you have to basically internalize them, memorize them, like you memorized words, for example. And that's how you are able to recognize music on the fly, by recognizing the sensation of each note. Because you've listened to it, you've practiced ear training in a way that helped you internalize that sensation. And so what happens is that you can now recognize that sensation, like you can recognize that you're seeing a cat because you know the word cat and you internalized the fact that a cat looks like this, looks like a cat, okay? So the same thing can happen in music and can happen with musical sensations. So why are keys colors important? Exactly for this reason. Because by internalizing the keys colors, by internalizing the sensation that each note assumes in the context of the key, you can easily and very intuitively recognize these notes. And you can recognize entire melodies very fast. And this is a totally different approach than interval ear training, which I've already talked about multiple times. It's not a good approach to develop intuitive ear training skills that you can apply in real time. And I've made another video where I talk more about why intervals are not a good approach. I also show some serious scientific studies that backs this up, and I will put a link up here where you can watch that video. You'll also find a link in the description section below. That being said, there's another video you might be interested in, which is how to recognize melodies by ear. I'll put another link up here and in the description section below. And lastly, the last thing that's important to understand is that this concept of keys color can also be applied to chords. So basically, you can internalize the sound of each chord, the sound that each chord assumes within the key, which is very different from just developing the ability to recognize whether a chord is major, minor, major seventh, etc. So that you can recognize it very intuitively and without any rational thinking involved. And that's how great musicians are able to recognize notes and chords by ear very quickly. It's because they recognize them by the sensation that they assume inside the tonal context. If you want to learn more also about how to recognize chord progressions by ear, you can find another video up here and in the description section below. That being said, that's all for this video. If you have some questions because there was something that you didn't understand, please leave your questions in the comment section below. Again, don't forget to sign up for our free trainings. You can check them out on our website along with all our other courses. You can find all the relevant links in the description section below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.